What's happening, YouTube? Thanks for stopping back by the channel today, right here with the Rustbelt Mechanic. As you can see, we're back up here in Swartz Creek, Michigan, here to pick up the Duramax. Finally getting it back. I'm super excited. We've had to do a whole lot of in the kind of background tuning, testing, working with a couple of things. So we're going to be talking with Matt today about what they had to do to the truck to get it all dialed in. So when we picked up the truck the last time, we had, we'll just say, a couple of setbacks. It ran fantastic, great enough for me to do the video and all, but then we ended up having a couple issues when we went to leave. We ended up having some issues. If you check out a clip that I'll have right here.
I came with all the freaking cameras. Oh, look at it.
Shows a little bit of white smoke coming out the tailpipe, and we had an issue with some overfueling. Also had a small issue with the PCV, but we ended up getting that one fixed up pretty good. But I wanted to talk to Matt today about what they had to do in the way of boost pressure and what we're talking about in that lines, because when you're adding a compound kit just like this one, it's not so simple as to just, okay, let's throw the parts on and okay, we're done, good to go. No, there's a lot when it comes to tuning. So we're gonna talk to Matt here and see what he had to say about talking with the tuner back and forth and trying to get this thing dialed in. All right, it's Matt from Diesel Pros here in Swartz Creek. So what kind of issues did we run in with the tuning and everything that we had with boost pressure?
So we had a few different issues. We put a couple different tunes in it, but right off the get-go, the truck was almost going into like a soft limp mode, and we learned that we had some mass airflow issues and some of our parameters weren't quite set right. So we had to make some adjustments there and then pull back the timing. We had a couple issues there too, and when we were letting off the throttle, we were still getting a lot of fuel, and then with the blow-off valve, we were losing all of our air right away. So of course, that was giving us our whitish kind of gray smoke that we were getting. So we had to make some revisions with the blow-off valve, and then some timing and fuel issues and stuff like that. We had to adjust for that in the tuning.
Now with these the factory sensors, with the mass and map sensors, they read the factory boost pressure. What I did not know, like on this last video, I showed that the truck was making right around 38 pounds of boost. Well, what I didn't know was the factory sensor only reads 38 pounds of boost. So what did they have to do to get around that one?
So what we did with that was we put basically like an aftermarket boost sensor in it, and then just plumbed it into the CTS2 monitor, and that way you can get an accurate reading of what you're actually pushing out.
Nice. So now we're actually going to be reading for real boost pressure. The tuner was able to, kind of make some variations in the tune due to that one. So we know what we're actually reading now at this point. So everything's all cleared up, what we seem like with the exhaust. One of the other things that I had an issue with was the PCV system. We had a little bit of issues with smoking with it, and that is greatly due to because the PCV catch can that I had put on here back on when I did the engine build had some internal issues with it. So you can see the PCV catch can and the filter that I had on there before. It's just kind of not hooked up right now. I had plumbed it in and I put it where the original fuel filter and pump bowl housing and everything was located at prior to, but ends up with the pressure that we were running, it had an issue, and the inside of the catch can kind of just fell apart and clogged up the PCV system partially, which allowed some of the oil to push up through the cylinder rings and was burning that when we were driving at higher boost pressure. So for temporary kind of thing right here, we've just rerouted the PCVs and just done a regular PCV reroute where we've got the tubes running. Matt has them to where they cross across, because here you can see the engine bay is a little bit tight. A little bit tight in there. So to keep the hoses from kinking, we've got the passenger side running across the engine over to the driver's side one coming across to the passenger side and running up into the other fender well right here, just to keep everything from having any more PCV issues in the future. Now, in your opinion, Matt, what would you say just this HSP kit? Have you had the chance to put on many of these, maybe not just HSP, but other compound turbo kits before?
So we've done a couple kits here at the shop, HSPs, pusher kits. And, the HSP kit is as of right now my favorite. We haven't done any SDP or anything like that yet, but I'm working on some of that stuff. But as of right now, this would be the best kit that we have or have had the opportunity to put in.
Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, how fun is this truck to drive now?
Oh, it's definitely an 11.
That's what I'm talking about. So we're gonna go put some more miles onto this thing today. We're gonna run around, shoot some more video, and we're gonna see just how awesome this thing works. Then on my way home, I'm gonna do some kind of comparison review and get you guys some readings on the EGTs, show you guys what the monitor's reading. You know, everybody's been asking me a whole bunch of questions on this one recently on what kind of EGTs I'm running, what kind of boost pressures, what kind of temperatures we're running on the engine, see how much that changed from going from the big 68mm Ryan's turbo to going to this compound setup, which is the 6466 Ryan's turbo down in the valley, and then the S475 with a 115 exhaust housing for the larger compound. So we're gonna get some numbers for you guys coming up here. So hopefully we've got this thing here ready to roll for a long time now. Hopefully the bottom end holds up for as much as I can, because, you know, I like you, Matt, but I don't want to have the truck back here for a little while at least. We got to go have some fun with it first.
Sure.
So we've got lots more content coming up that way. Hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. We've got rear seats coming for this one also. We're going to be doing some covering, working with the seat shop on those. All kinds of fun, awesome content coming there. Stay tuned for that one. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Like the videos if you like this kind of content. If you don't like it, give the thumbs down. Whatever, tell me what I'm doing. Appreciate it, and as always, you guys stay awesome.